Eucharistic celebration in the Basilica of Gethsemane has gathered priests, religious, and local Christians for the closing of the Holy Door. On Saturday, December 3, in Manger Square, the lighting of the big Christmas tree has started the festivities. Bethlehem is once again waiting for Christmas. Father Francesco Patton visits the projects carried out by the Franciscan Social Services Office in Bethlehem to support people and families in need. Nazareth celebrates the 150th anniversary of the founding of the Congregation of the Daughters of St. Anne. Celebrations concluded with the launching of a documentary and a solemn Mass. The ancient city of Jaffa, now part of Tel Aviv, is known for its biblical episodes related to the prophet Jonah and the apostle Peter.
After Pope Francis concluded the Jubilee year in Rome, the doors of mercy of the Holy Land have been closed. The first one to be closed was the door of the Basilica of the Agony in Jerusalem on December 3rd. For the occasion, a Eucharistic celebration brought together priests, local religious communities, Arab Christians, and pilgrims in the Church of Gethsemane. In his homily, the Patriarchal Vicar for Jerusalem and Palestine, Monsignor William Shamali, recalled the words of Pope Francis on the closing of the Holy Year.
Il Santo Padre, nella sua lettera apostolica,
in the apostolic letter of the Holy Father for the closing of the Holy Door, we read these words: "Today we close the Holy Door, but the door of the Lord's mercy is not closed. In fact, every year, especially in liturgical celebrations, in the sacrament of reconciliation as well as in the Eucharist and in works of mercy, the Lord continues to show us His mercy. He continues to forgive."
la sua misericordia e a perdonarci.
The Catholic Church celebrates the Jubilee every 25 years. The last one took place in 2000, but the Pope can proclaim an extraordinary Jubilee for whatever he considers to be a significant reason. This was the case of the Year of Mercy, announced by Pope Francis, in the hope to awaken the world to the experience of God's mercy.
Dio è amore, è misericordia. Ecco, a noi adesso
God is love, God is mercy. And we have this great challenge that the Pope left in our hands, which is to continue to live in the great mystery of God's love in our lives and in the life of the Church. God's love, a forgiving love, a welcoming love that becomes mercy.
È un amore che si fa misericordia, che accoglie.
After the Mass, the priests and the faithful left the Basilica in a procession carrying the cross of Christ and heading towards the Garden of Olives. At the door of Gethsemane, they remained a few minutes in silence and in prayer before the symbol of mercy visited by the faithful from around the world.
The celebration of the closing of the door was heartwarming, and we know that the Lord, with this gesture of opening and closing, is telling us that He is always ready to forgive.
Lui è sempre pronto a perdonare.
I have been here for the opening of this year, and now I was very glad to be here for closing the door. For us, mercy is a special vow, and we try every day to show mercy, to show love to all people.
In the Basilica of the Annunciation in Nazareth, the closing of the Holy Door coincides with a very significant date, December 8th, Feast of the Immaculate Conception of Mary.
The closing of the door is like, for me, Jesus gave me the time, the year of Misericordia, and now I have to pray a lot more. I have to use the mercy to understand the other people.
Lights, sounds, and 1,000 colors. The characteristic Christmas spirit reigns in the city where the Savior was born. The usual lighting of the Christmas tree, the manger, Bethlehem is waiting for Christmas, an event that every year gathers hundreds of people from all over the world in Manger Square, all together in a festive atmosphere.
We arrived in Bethlehem yesterday and we were all very moved to be in the place where Jesus was born, and we are very, very pleased and moved to be with you in Bethlehem.
We are very happy to be here.
We came to celebrate the lighting of the tree. Bethlehem is the place where Jesus Christ was born.
Many were the civil and religious authorities present, but the number of Christians from around the country who did not want to miss this event was bigger, all united under the sign of peace and hope.
We are united in one joy and one blessing that embrace everyone. We hope it is a happy year.
Yes, this is the first time I'm at the Christmas tree lightning in Bethlehem. I think it's special, you know, this is an important place for Christians, and I wanted to see how different religions and different cultures coexist and celebrate.
Thus began the countdown to the arrival of the child Jesus in Bethlehem. Jesus, who is fragile, who like all newborns is not able to talk, yet he is the Word that was made flesh and came to change the hearts and lives of men.
December is the month of the birth of Jesus Christ, the month of joy, the month of peace for the whole world. Whatever you do to the least among you, you did it to me. Among the streets of Bethlehem, the words of the gospel take on a new life and are filled with faces, stories, and specific locations. The Custos of the Holy Land, Father Francesco Patton, had the opportunity to fulfill the purpose of his visit, getting acquainted with the various activities of the Franciscan Social Services Office in the Palestinian city, which he visited with the Secretary Brother David Grenier. The Office of Social Services of the Holy Land Custody was founded in 2008. In coordination with the Pro Terra Sancta Association, the mission of the Franciscan Social Services Office is to give tangible and continuous assistance to families and people of Bethlehem in difficulty, primarily related to medical emergencies and special needs. Many are the entities involved in the projects at stake. A new guest house whose first guest should arrive for Christmas, anticipating the official opening that will take place next spring. The Traditional Palestinian Art Museum. The Antonian Society, supported by the CEI project for the elderly in the city. The resident home houses 26 elderly, while another 40 seniors visit the day center 3 times a week to sing, to pray, and to eat together. To support the ongoing projects, just visit the website www.proterrasancta.org.
روزا غاتورنو اتولدت في مدينة جنوفا في إيطاليا يوم 14
Rosa Gatorno was born in Genoa, Italy on October 14, 1831 to a Christian family of great faith. Rosa's faith was primarily inspired by her mother's and her grandmother's spirituality.
اللي تعلمت منهم أو أخذت منهم تغذية الأساسية للإيمان.
Wife, mother, widow, and foundress, all these experiences lived by the Blessed Rosa Gatorno in the 19th century were displayed in a documentary in Nazareth on November 30 during the final week of the celebrations of the 150th anniversary of the congregation which she founded.
الفيلم بدي من فكرة اللي هي
The idea of the movie developed here among the Daughters of St. Anne. We were in touch with them because they had asked us to compose a song about Mother Rosa. This initial project later became a documentary on her life, more than a documentary. The video is an expression of spiritual experience that is attainable by any person.
مرقنا فيها أو أي بني آدم ممكن يمرق فيها.
100 people participated in the evening hosted by the author of the documentary. At the end of the viewing, a discussion on the life of the founder took place.
لما تعرفت على حياة الأم روزا تعرفت عليها طبعا.
I became aware of Mother Rosa's life through a biography that was given to me by a daughter of St. Anne. Right from the start, I realized Rosa was a person full of talents.
حسيت حالي قدام شخصية فعلا زي ما وصفوها متعددة المواهب.
There have been several initiatives to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the congregation during the year 2016. The last event was held on Sunday, December 4, a Mass in the Basilica of the Annunciation in Nazareth.
Celebrare la nascita del nostro istituto.
Celebrating the birth of our institution has entailed commemorating all the important stages of the congregation and those of the life of our foundress, Mother Rosa Gatorno. And for us, this is an incentive to continue this work of God that Mother Rosa started. We are called to persevere on this mission in the Church.
Ha iniziato Madre Rosa e che noi oggi siamo chiamati a continuare nella Chiesa.
The Daughters of St. Anne have been in the Holy Land since 1924. They dedicated their services to the elderly and needy children of 4 cities, Bethlehem, Nazareth, Sepphoris, and Haifa.
È un carisma importante perché la fondatrice Rosa Gattorno 150 anni fa ha voluto
This is an important charism. The foundress Rosa Gattorno, 150 years ago, strongly desired to have a congregation that had a Marian soul. Her hope was for the nuns to be a maternal presence in the world and to dedicate their lives to the children, the poor and the needy.
Quindi di dedicarsi in modo tutto speciale all'accompagnamento dei bambini e all'accompagnamento delle persone povere e bisognose.
In the old district of Tel Aviv, the main economic center of Israel, a millenary city enshrines many stories as well as beauty that fills the eye. Yaffo in Hebrew is the name of the ancient city of Jaffa, whose seaport is considered the oldest in the world, where the cedar logs from Lebanon used in the construction of the temple in Jerusalem in the days of King Solomon were unloaded. In 1950, the city was under the administration of Tel Aviv. Brother Angelo, a Franciscan friar from Jaffa's monastery, is a pilgrim's guide. From the tower of the Church of St. Peter, he shows us this privileged scene and tells us the details of this place. The history of the ancient city of Jaffa began more than 4,000 years ago. This place is mentioned in the Bible book of Joshua as belonging to the tribe of Dan, one of the tribes of Israel. And in addition to this particular one, there are many other biblical stories that took place here. From this port, the prophet Jonah tried to flee from the mission received from God, who sent him to the city of Nineveh to announce its destruction. Terrified, Jonah boarded a ship bound for Tarshish, which was located on the opposite side.
He started his journey here, and there was a storm, and he was thrown from the storm to the sea, and he was swallowed by a big fish. That's all we know. So he went to Nineveh, which is in Iraq.
The people of Nineveh, after the announcement of the divine message, repented of their sins and experienced the mercy of God. The Acts of the Apostles state that in Jaffa there was a community of Jews who believed in Jesus as the Messiah. They received the visit of Peter, who resurrected the young Tabitha in this place. In this ancient city there was also the home of Simon the tanner, where Peter had the vision of the sheet let down from heaven containing animals considered clean and unclean by the Jews.
He was hungry, and in a vision, three times he was told to slaughter and eat, and he said he could not eat those unclean animals like pig that were prohibited by the Jewish law.
The voice asked Peter to not call unclean what God had purified. From that moment on, the apostle, head of the first Christians, realized that God makes no distinctions.
Before, the Jews thought that the only ones who could be saved. No? Now, from here, we were included. We Gentiles, or people with no Jewish blood, could be saved also.
After this episode, Peter went to Caesarea to baptize the Roman centurion Cornelius, the first pagan converted with all his family to Christianity. The Church of St. Peter, dedicated to these events, was built in the late 19th century on the remains of the fortress of the Middle Ages.
It's beautiful, it's fantastic. The history here, the preservation of the history and how old it is, it's stunning. Coming from a place that everything is new, like Los Angeles, this is very interesting.
Besides being scene of biblical narratives, Jaffa is also privileged from a naturalistic point of view. The bright sun bathes the beaches almost every month of the year, and no matter what your swimsuit is, it is really worth enjoying the water.
Es una ciudad preciosa. Preciosa.
It is a very beautiful city. There's a lot of security and we feel safe.
Sentimos muy tranquilos.
With a view like this, stress goes away and the chaos of the big city fades into the background. Before the exuberance of nature, time seems to lose importance. It is the ideal place for lovers. The town that thousands of years ago revealed the mysteries of the faith continues to magnify God's creation. Just look around.
The mission of the Christian Media Center is to bring the message of the Holy Land, the land of the fifth gospel, to the world. Broadcasts, reports, news, documentaries, the latest happenings in the church and of the daily life of Christians in the Holy Land. You can help us in this mission, raising awareness and spreading the message of the Holy Land. Help us. Visit our website.